y'all, it's Abby. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Thank you so much for giving me a small portion of your day. So if you are new around here, I am a second-time mom. I have a 20-month-old son, and I am currently 29 weeks pregnant with my baby girl. So my second child, and I just thought I would share with you guys some of my opinions on things that you do need on your baby registry that you might not necessarily be asking for, as well as some things that you probably don't need. Obviously, these are my opinions. I know different people feel differently about a lot of things that I'm going to be talking about, but I'm also trying to pick things that you might not necessarily be asking for. So let's jump into it. One of the things that I definitely am placing a lot of focus on in this video is baby proofing supplies. I think a lot of people think that they just need to they should just put things on their registry for when babies are little, for when they're like newborns. And I put stuff on there until like toddlerhood. I had lots on my registry. But the first thing I would recommend is a bathtub spout cover. So obviously you don't need this when your babies are little, because you might be washing them in the sink or something like that. You don't need that. But when you get a child that's a little bit older, especially if you have a toddler, they're moving around in the bathtub, and obviously hitting their heads is very bad, and it happens. And so just having something, spout cover on your registry is then one less thing that you have to worry about. Ours is the OXO brand. I love it because it's neutral. It's not like a whale or something like that. So I can definitely link that in the description. So the next thing is a bath mat. And what I mean by this is like an adhesive bath mat that goes in the bottom of your bathtub. This is the same principle for when especially your kids get a little bit older. Liam is very rambunctious all the time, but he's also exceedingly rambunctious in the tub. And so I wanted something that if he fell backwards, it was a lot more cushioned than just hitting his head on the porcelain of the tub. So having something that is like a grippy non-slip mat in the bottom of your tub is also a great thing to put on your baby registry. All right, the fourth thing is a baby nail trimmer. And I mean like the little Dremel tools for babies' nails. I feel like this is one of those things you don't know about unless you've had babies before. These are life-changing. If you're a first-time mom or a first-time dad, if you're just a first-time parent, cutting babies' nails is terrifying. Their nails are so tiny. The fingernail clippers seem so sharp and so huge in comparison to their hands. I cut Liam's fingers several times with them, and it broke my heart. When he was a baby, he didn't care, but it just broke my heart. And so doing something like this, like getting one of these nail trimmers, is a life changer because you can do it on their fingers. It can get on their fingers, it's not gonna hurt them. It does wear down their nails, but it doesn't break their skin. You can do it while they're sleeping. I did it when Liam was sleeping all the time and he never even noticed. So I highly recommend something like, it's basically a Dremel tool for baby nails. Highly recommend it. Again, I feel like that's one of those things you don't know unless you know. So that is a tip I have for you. All right, so the next one is general baby proofing items. So like outlet plugs, doorknob covers, the foam edging that goes on corners and sharp edges of furniture, toilet locks, cabinet locks. Putting those kinds of things on your registry is exceedingly valuable because one, buying enough, it adds up fast. And two, even if you don't get it as gifts, you get the registry coupons, so then you get a discount off of the cost that you're gonna have to spend anyway, because there is a lock on, if you're not new around here, you guys have seen my kitchen, you know how huge it is, and there's a ludicrous number of locks in my kitchen. And I have a lot of outlets in my house, so there's outlet protectors everywhere. We're having to put things on doorknobs because Liam can open doors now. So having these things on your registry is huge because again, it's looking more than just at the newborn, early infant stage. Looking a little farther forward is also nice. And the other thing is that if you have people that want to do something but don't have a lot of financial, like they don't have a lot to do, doing some of the baby proofing items are just, $6, $5, $4. So it's, a good option to give people some variety in price as well. Okay, this one item, this is a splurge item, but if you're gonna splurge on something, I would highly recommend this, and that is the outlet. So we had the outlet Smart Sock with Liam, and that gave me so much peace of mind. And something to keep in mind was that I had a full-term baby who had no issues, no breathing issues, nothing like that, and I still was worried about SIDS and all of that. And I know that a lot of people who have children that are preemie or have breathing issues, that it also gives them a lot of peace of mind. They are expensive, but I think they're worth it. We actually have already upgraded and bought the Smart Sock 3 and a camera for baby girl's room. I didn't want to do a camera, but Ben thought a camera was a good idea. So, but I love the Owlet. Obviously, since I bought another one, I highly recommend it. I think that if you're going to spend money on a lot of money on one thing, that should be the one thing. That is my personal opinion. Okay, next thing is sleep sacks that are larger than the newborn or small size. So you need more. Your baby's gonna be in a sleep sack for a long time. Like, we didn't give Liam a blanket until he was a year. He was sleeping in a sleep sack up until that point. So actually he still does sleep in sleep sacks because he likes them, because he's so wild in his sleep that he doesn't stay under a blanket. But you know, you're not supposed to be putting anything in your baby's crib. They recommend nothing until they're a year. So you still want something, you still need the function of a sleep sack without it being just the little tiny baby one. So putting ones in several sizes is a great idea. We are fans of the Burt's Bees ones. Those are the ones we've used the most. We already have them, so we're not buying them again for baby girl because we already have them. We have 2 in every size, but again, focusing on not just the smallest newborn little baby size, like getting something in higher sizes is also worthwhile. All right, next item. This is, I mean, maybe this is just my son, I don't know, but that is butt paste. So it's kind of expensive. I am a diehard Boudreaux's butt paste user. We use a little bit of A&D, but pretty much we use Boudreaux's because it's the best thing I have found. And Liam had some diaper rash issues when he was a baby, and it works the best. And so you can put that on your registry and people will buy it for you, or you get the registry discount again, because it's something that the price adds up quickly. So it never hurts to put it on your registry. I'm just saying. Okay. The next one is something that if you've been around for a little while, you've at least heard me talk about in one form or another, and that is multiple crib sheets and mattress protectors. So I read this on Pinterest. If I can find the original pin, I will link it in the description. I doubt I'll be able to find the original pin, but if I can, I will. And it's that you do a mattress cover and a sheet, a mattress cover and a sheet, and a mattress cover and a sheet. So that way, if your child wets the bed, or if they throw up, or if they have a blowout or whatever, you can just strip off the top layer and put them back in the bed. Like if something like that happens in the middle of the night. It's great. There's been times where it's like, I'm too tired to deal with this right now. Like especially early on in my pregnancy, we had a couple of issues with Liam like wetting the bed and stuff. And it was so nice to not have to change the sheets, where I could just literally strip it off and lay him back down. Obviously change his clothes and everything, but it wasn't like having to change the sheets and everything. Highly, 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 highly recommend you do this because it makes your life so much easier. And then the last thing that I would recommend are feeding items. So things like snack cups and sippy cups and paper bowls. No, like silicone, high chair mats, silicone bibs. Huge fan of silicone bibs. They're the best in my opinion. Love them. Things like that. Again, things that are going to get you, you need past the newborn and small infant stage, 6 months and on, because you still need those things even when your baby's a little older. So, I had a high chair on mine, I had snack cups on mine, lots of things like that. So feeding items are definitely something to consider putting on your registry. Okay, so I have a few things that I think as a second-time mom, you do not need to put on your baby registry. The first one, baby-specific washcloths and towels. Maybe towels, okay, like we had baby towels. People gave us baby towels, which is why we used them, but I wouldn't have bought them otherwise. Baby washcloths are not really that much softer, in my opinion, than regular washcloths. If you want to buy some softer washcloths, that's fine, but I don't think you need the little mini baby ones. You can use a full-sized washcloth on your baby and it's just fine. So you don't need baby-specific washcloths and towels, in my opinion. Next thing, this one might be controversial, but that's a wipe warmer. My mother-in-law bought me one and I did use it, but I don't think it's necessary. I used it in the winter because our house gets so cold that if I had to change Liam's diapers in the middle of the night with those wipes, he probably would have complained. But if you live in a house that's newer than mine with better insulation or cheaper heating than mine, then you probably don't need a wipe warmer. I would definitely say you don't need a wipe warmer. Same goes for a bottle warmer. And maybe that's different because I was pretty much exclusively breastfed Liam. He had like 6 bottles, somewhere in there, of formula his whole life. And then he would get breast milk from a bottle. But even when we would get breast milk, I would warm up the breast milk in a bowl of water, or you can put it in a bottle, put the bottle in a bowl of water and warm it up that way. I just don't think a bottle warmer is necessary because it's just one extra appliance that you have to keep on your counter. But again, I was not a bottle feeding exclusive mom. So if you did bottle feed exclusively, let us know down below. Share your thoughts on if you think a bottle warmer is necessary or not, because I'd like to know. If you are planning on breastfeeding and breastfeeding works well for you, I would say that you probably don't need one. That's a good way of putting it. Okay, the next thing is multi-packs of pacifiers. So a lot of registry gifts and things like that come with pacifiers. And the reason I say not to buy a bunch is because you don't know what your baby is going to like. Different babies like different pacifiers. They might not like pacifiers at all. Liam took a pacifier for maybe 2 months and that was it. So you don't want to spend a bunch of money or have other people spend a bunch of money and be committed to these specific types of pacifiers if your baby doesn't even like them. So let your baby decide. The same goes for bottles. In my opinion, you should let your baby pick the bottle. Again, lots of registry bags come with samples. I think I have like 4 different types of bottles in my cabinet right now because I have the Phillips Avent, I have a couple Mam bottles, I have the Dr. Brown's, which is what we use with Liam, and I think I might have one more different bottle type. So all that to say, let your baby choose because your baby might like one thing better than another. And then the last thing that I don't think you necessarily need on your registry, and something that I would do differently if I could do it again, is a baby bathtub. Now I'm going to asterisk this. This is if you have a tub in your home. If you don't have a bathtub, if you only have a shower, then yeah, you probably need a baby bathtub. But if you have a tub in your house, I don't think a baby bathtub is necessary. We have one, and if I could do it again, I would not buy it. I mean, it's not that I have an issue with the tub. It worked fine, it worked great for our purposes. It just takes up so much space and so much room. And so if I had to do it again, I would buy either the Halo or Angel's Head or whatever, the little rest that you put in the tub. Or I saw recently OXO has a foldable baby tub and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm not buying one because again, I don't need it, but I thought that was awesome. So if you have especially if you have a smaller space, spending a little more and doing something like the OXO foldable tub is probably a better option than doing like a full-size baby tub because they're big and they're huge. They don't compact, they don't store well. But if you have a full-size if you have a bathtub, I think just the insert when they're babies is perfect. And then as soon as they can sit up consistently on their own, we put a laundry basket in our tub and put Liam in the laundry basket. And that worked great until he could stand up. It was fantastic until he could stand up. So that's something I would recommend as a different avenue as opposed to getting a full-sized baby bathtub. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you are a new parent or about to be a parent, congratulations. Parenthood is the wildest, craziest, most amazing journey you will ever go on. And I hope that my opinions were helpful. If there are things that, if you are a seasoned mom or dad and you have things that you think are like do's and like things you definitely need and things you definitely don't, let us know down below and let me know if you disagree with me. I'm okay with that. This is obviously my personal opinion, things that I think you need or don't based on my experience in almost 2 years of motherhood. So if you guys are interested, I can do a video on I do have baby registries for baby girl because I wanted the coupons, let's be real, and the gift bags. I'm not expecting people to buy us gifts. So I mean, I know people are going to get us gifts, but I'm not making the expectation that people are going to buy us gifts. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But if you guys want to see what I put on my baby registries, I'd be more than happy to do a video about that for y'all. Just again, let me know down below. Follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. I'll put my handle on the screen for you, and it's always the top link one of the top links in the description box. And I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!